Welcome back everybody. So this is a continuation of the previous video. If you haven't watched that one, I suggest you take a peek. Some interesting info from the Last Jedi novelization there. Just like promised, Reddit user OmNomAnor has posted a part 2 with some more info from the book. Let's take a look. After the Galactic Civil War in the original trilogy, new states and factions formed in the aftermath of the war. The First Order shut some of them down, including Hematic kingdoms in the unknown regions. The First Order managed to conquer a substantial amount of planets there. Hux wants to command the supremacy. He has brought his captain from the Finalizer with him. The destruction of Hosnian Prime shows the supremacy is a good idea until it is destroyed. Interesting, some people think the supremacy might be salvaged or repaired by episode 9. I mean, it's certainly possible depending on the time jump between episodes. The reason Snoke keeps Hux around is because he needs his technology. That would suggest Hux is basically indispensable. Wherever Snoke came from, it seems the First Order has superior technology to what he could have mustered up by himself, although he's probably financing all the First Order's projects. I think most of us were under the impression that the First Order found some kind of advanced technology in the unknown regions, especially so with those weird looking Snoke attendants who are from the unknown regions. But if Snoke needs Hux because of his technology, that might suggest that the First Order are simply more advanced than we originally thought. I mean, I'm sure Palpatine had all kinds of secret projects in the works when he was alive, and the First Order simply continued the science behind those projects and eventually created more advanced weaponry. Which still begs the question, did the First Order find Snoke in the unknown regions and he offered to finance their war effort in return for a leadership role? Moving on, the systems from the New Republic are protecting themselves. The beacon Leia gave to Rey is the light and symbol that pushes Leia to survive in space. The light in the darkness theme comes from Brika Organa. Kylo would have frozen the missile coming at Leia if he was not surprised in the moment. So not only can he freeze laser bolts, but he can freeze missiles as well. That's some pretty powerful abilities there. I'm impressed. Luke and R2 have had decades filled with missions together. I hope this is explored eventually. Maz Kanata has been wounded 67 times, 20 of them almost lethal. She's been around the block. Maz's line in the movie about the hacker, "Oh yes, he can do everything," has no sexual undertones in the book. Maz and the hacker just did many heists together. Rey is Luke's niece. Ah, gotcha. That's what Luke tells the caretakers on the island anyway. The Force bond allows Rey to explore Kylo's set of Force skills. Finn gives Poe the beacon when he's about to leave for Canto Bight, not an easy thing for Finn to do. They hope Rey will find them in a better situation when she finally returns. Phasma ponders about doing anything to survive, so I guess she will be returning again in episode 9. They'll figure a way out for her to have survived that fall somehow. Finn and Rose discuss how Rey will look when she returns. Rose thinks she'll look like a Jedi with a rat tail. So that's implying that Rose knows about the Padawan hair braid, which is interesting. Did she watch a documentary about the Jedi? Does the Star Wars universe have their own history channel? Finn thinks she won't be a Jedi when she returns. She'll just be Rey. Fathias were Paige's favourite animals of all time. So bad luck kids, if children were her favourite thing of all time, maybe Rose would have saved them. Luke only took Padawans when he took Ben as an apprentice. He thought he was ready by that time. Boy was he wrong, should have continued his adventures with R2. Luke wonders if he should be afraid of the pupil that wants to destroy him or the one that wants to be him. That's alluding to Kylo and Rey. At the end of the caretaker deleted scene at the village, Luke and Rey dance. She leaves angry though because Luke tells her the galaxy needs her and not him. I would have loved to have seen Luke pull out some funky moves. Poe realizes BB-8 left with Finn and Rose. I wonder if he felt a little bit jealous. His droid seems to be hooking up with all these new people. Leia may have indeed suffered from ebulism, which is the formation of gas bubbles in bodily fluids due to reduced environmental pressure, as well as hypoxia and solar radiation after the Mary Poppins scene. When Rey accesses Kylo's powers, Kylo accesses Rey's memories. This might be when he tells her that her parents were junkers. Anyone who wanted to be sure, Kylo did build his very first lightsaber. Luke explores the cosmic force after having reconnected with the living force. Rey is a clear instrument of the will of the cosmic force. He also finds Leia again in the force. The will of the cosmic force was asleep after the end of the Sith and awoke during Luke's exile. The living force is the energy of life. The cosmic force is the will of the universe. So this is a very interesting tidbit of info here, and I'll tell you why. If the cosmic force was asleep after the end of the Sith, with Vader's and Palpatine's death, and only reawoke when Luke went into exile, what does that mean about Snoke? Well, Snoke was around before Luke went into exile. He had been trying to corrupt Ben Solo for a while, and we know he's no Sith, so for whatever reason, the cosmic force did not consider Snoke to be a big enough threat to reawaken. It only reawoke when Ben Solo had finally turned to the dark side and became Kylo Ren. This would mean Kylo Ren is the threat that the cosmic force wants to stop. Hence Rey awakening, and probably why episode 7 is titled The Force Awakens. Even Luke believed Ben Solo was the chosen one, but Snoke managed to turn him, and the cosmic force is like, no, we can't have that happening. So you might have heard of the theory out there that Kylo Ren's story arc will be an inverted Anakin story arc. That by the end of episode 9, he turns back to the light. Rey probably has something to do with that. I like it, it's a good theory, but one little problem. If it were to truly follow Anakin's story arc in reverse, there would have to be an episode 12 where Kylo returns to the dark side before his death, because that's how Anakin's story arc finished. He eventually returned to the light side before his death. I don't know, it's all getting jumbled up in my head. And now for the most painful information to process thus far. For me anyway, this sucks big time. Luke had changed his mind. He was willing to join Rey and return to help the Resistance. But then he walked in on the hand-touching sex scene and the shit hit the fan. Rey took off and he went to destroy the Jedi texts and commit suicide. Oh man, can you imagine what could have been? That's what I was hoping for all along. Rey convinces Luke to return and they leave Ahch-to together, turn up on Crate or Snoke's throne room. But nope. It all went wrong. So very wrong. So I'm interested if this was always a part of the novelization or if it was thrown in later to appease the fans that were devastated by Luke's story arc in The Last Jedi. Like, look here, it nearly happened, but unfortunately it didn't. So I'll leave a link to the thread down below in the description if you want to check it out for yourselves. Omnom Anor has promised a third and final follow-up soon. I'll probably do a video about that as well. I'm sure it will have some more interesting information. Leave your thoughts down below. If you are new here and enjoyed yourself, hit that notification bell to stay updated with this channel. And don't forget to like, share, sub and all of that good stuff. And until next time, see yas.